Welcome to 1+1. I'm Kurt Fearnley. Kurdish refugee Mostafa Azimitabar fled Iran in 2013 and attempted to arrive in Australia by boat. Almost 8 years later, he was released into community after a journey that would take him from Christmas Island, Manus Island, Port Moresby, and 2 inner-city Melbourne hotels. We would catch up at a place that he now calls home and talk about determination, survival, and how music would help him through.
From this point forward, asylum seekers who arrive in Australia by boat will be sent to Papua New Guinea for processing and resettlement.
They think this is some way they can pressure the Australian government to let them come to Australia. Well, we will not be pressured.
I've put up a bill for Monday that will address the medical emergency that we're seeing in Manus Island and Nauru at the moment.
The result of the division is ayes 75, noes 74.
I commend the Parliament for the action that it's taken.
The Mantra Hotel in Preston, Melbourne's north, has a hidden guest list. These men say they're among 50, some held here for up to 5 months.
Most of the refugees freed today have spent years in immigration detention.
I am free, like a bird.
Mostafa Azimitabar, welcome to 1+1.
Hey, Kurt. Nice to meet you too.
Can I call you Moz?
Yeah.
Moz, you grew up in Iran. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I lived in Kermanshah, and it's a beautiful city, the biggest city in Kurdistan. And the people are lovely, very kind, hospitable, lots of mountains, beautiful nature, beautiful birds. I had a very sad childhood. The hail of bombs bombarded my city, and the sounds of siren, missiles, very difficult. And even when I went to a school, they imposed us different language. I was not allowed to learn Kurdish. Living in Iran is so difficult, especially for Kurdish people.
Did you ever imagine that you would have to leave Iran one day?
Before, no, I didn't decide to leave Iran. I tried to save my life. I didn't know where I am going, and I fled my homeland because I was in danger.
How hard was that decision to make, to leave?
It was really difficult for me, the most stressful time that I had, because if I could find by the government, they could put me in prison, or my life could be like a dead person.
Where did you go immediately when you left Iran?
I came to Indonesia by plane, and I had around 40 days. I was in Indonesia for around 40 days, very difficult time.
Did you always believe that you were going to Australia?
I thought if I reached to Australia, they listened to my story, they help me, and they can save me. So I found people in Indonesia to take me to Australia by boat.
So when you were on that boat itself, how many people were on board?
Around 100.
And what was that journey like?
It was 50-50. My life could be dead or continue.
You knew that before you got on the boat?
I knew that. I knew that it's gonna be end or reach to safety.
And what was that experience like, being on the boat with 100 people?
Well, the smuggler lied to us. They said it's safe, there is no any problem. You will reach there without any problem. And he lied to us. I didn't know anything about. I had to trust them. I didn't have any other choice. So he used a very expensive ferry, and after like a few hours, he put all of us in a very small boat, smaller than what you can imagine, very old, and they said that you should continue the way with this boat.
And how long did that take?
It was 4 days. Turbulent ocean. The boat broke and water came inside the boat. I felt that I was supposed to die. I thought it's gonna be the end of my life. I was ready to die, and suddenly a huge Navy ship came close to us and they saved us.
What did you think was going to happen at that point when you saw the Navy boat?
I thought everything is going to be all right and they are going to save me.
But what happened?
They took us to Christmas Island and the government put us in Christmas detention center after 1 day, yeah.
What happened after you arrived to Christmas Island?
Around 3 weeks, they took all of us to airport and put me in a plane with other refugees and transferred us to Papua New Guinea, Manus Island, and Manus Detention Center.
How did that kind of random selection, how did that make you feel?
I didn't have any choice. They just called my number, KNS 88. I was a number for them. And immigration, ABF came and read a letter for us that was from Kevin Roth, that every person who comes to Australia by boat after 19th of July, they will never ever be in Australia and they will be sent to Papua New Guinea and in Manus Island.
What was life like in Manus?
My life was a cage. Inside the cage, it was very chaotic. The first place I was locked up, it was in Foxtrot, a room, a very dirty room, a long, narrow, dirty room. 120 people we lived together in one room. There was no air conditioner, very hot, so dirty, and for like 1 month I was there. And after that they transferred us to another parts of detention in Oscar compound. 50 people, we lived together in one room for 3 years. And all my life was a room for 3 years with 50 people. And imagine each time the officers came inside the room for different reasons. And many times they searched all the room. They put all our belongings outside. They smashed everything. They harassed us. They bullied us many times. And I was just like a puppet in this policy. They didn't care about our health. They didn't care about our future.
You were injured in the standoff where Reza Barati lost his life. What can you tell me about that day?
It was a very sad day for all the refugees He was in my compound and I was in Oscar compound.
Chairs, sticks and metal objects inside, rocks hurled inwards from outside. Manus Island's riots left 1 dead and at least 69 injured.
They attacked us. They came and threw everything, stone, chairs. I was really lucky. I survived over there. Many people injured. I got injured, but it was not huge.
People have spoken about how you were a strength to others on the island, that other people who were refugees with you relied on you.
Everyone helped each other in different ways. I think positivity is always bring hope, bring strength and help others as well. And also, most of the refugees help each other.
You were on the list to go to America. What happened there?
Well, I didn't want to go to America for some reasons, because I don't have any friends or family in America, and I don't like to see guns. I don't like to see the way that they feel. My city was bombed for 8 years. Nothing remained from my past, and I try not to see those kind of sad stories like guns, missiles, sirens, you know. And I feel that Australia is a good country. I always feel this country is beautiful. I have found many good friends inside this society. And I never compare politicians with people in Australia, because people in Australia are very different from politicians, and I really love people in Australia.
You would come to Australia under the Medivac laws in 2019. How did that process go?
I was in Port Moresby, so that the minister signed my Medivac application. It was supposed to be 3 weeks, but my case took 6 weeks, and I was extremely happy. I suffer from asthma and PTSD. I thought that I was gonna get medical treatment, and after that, I thought I'm gonna get freedom.
Did you get medical treatment?
No. When I came to Australia, I was locked up in the Mantra prison. They call it hotel, for more than a year, along with 65 other refugees. I didn't receive any proper medication over there. And all my life was the size of a room and a narrow corridor. Imagine several times a day, sometimes 10 times a day, they came to my room, 6:30 in the morning. Head count, they turn on the light. 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock for lunch, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for fabric check. Nothing is broken, everything is okay. 5, 10, every time they just came to the room to interrupt my privacy, interrupt my the time that I wanted to be with myself. I thought it's gonna be like the end of my life in that room, but I decided to continue. I decided not to give up. I decided to help other refugees over there. I decided to be a voice for myself and other people who were locked up over there. And I talk with people in Australia. I talk with journalists, with media. I waved at people from the window. They very nice people. They walked and they didn't know about the situation in Mantra. I waved at them, they waved at me. So I started talking to them that about the situation. I thought, I said that this is my situation and 65 other refugees are suffering here. We thought that they are going to treat us, but it's like punishment. And the Australian government told people that they are in 4-star hotels, but inside the hotel there was no any stars. It was torture center. We didn't even have sunlight. Sometimes I remember I could open the window of 10 or 15 centimeters, and I took my hand out of the window to get sunlight. Yeah.
You've described music as being your doctor. Can you describe that to me?
Yeah, music is like a doctor. Listening to music was a part of my resistance. I listened to Jimmy Barnes music, Midnight Oil, Tim Minchin, Missy Higgins, different types of musicians in Australia. And I really got hope. I thought that they are listening to me. I got a guitar from the legend Jimmy Barnes. It was really a great moment of my life. When I touched the guitar, I felt that the guitar is a friend of mine. I felt that this guitar means a world to me, that people outside the society are listening to my pain. They are listening to my story. And I am very happy to have these wonderful people in my life.
I don't know whether there's an answer for this, but what would you do differently if you had your time again coming to Australia? Was there any other option?
Well, I thought if I knew that I would be in detention for 8 years, I could find another way. But that time, I didn't know anything about policy inside Australia. I didn't know that they are going to keep me in detention for 8 years, and I am going to be like a number for the politicians. And each politician, each party are blaming each other for using this number and moving these numbers to different places. We were just numbers for them, and each party blamed the other party. They never tried to find this humanitarian solution for us.
It is a policy that is supported by both sides of politics and has been voted on. So how does that make you feel that the public in general have known about and supported this through voting in both sides?
I think they are hiding the reality. They are still hiding the reality from people. They don't like people come to the protest outside the buildings in the Park Prison and the Kangaroo Point in Brisbane. They are trying to stop them, but it's like a responsibility for every person in the world. If they see something wrong, they should fight for it. The opposition party is silent at the moment, and it's like a green light to the government. But if they talk about the truth, many people will hear and they go to the street, and we could have more pressure on the government.
There are protests every afternoon at the hotel there where the refugees are being held. Do you go to the protests regularly?
Yes, I go to the protests. I like to talk with the refugees locked up in the place, and I also like to talk with the protesters that this is the way that we can help them continue. When I was in the park and Mantra detentions, when I saw people outside protesting for us, I got hope. I felt that I was not alone. And now it's the time that I should go there and I talk to the refugees that they shouldn't feel that they are alone. Otherwise, they cannot continue.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! Hold your head! Hold your head!
This is the building that refugees are all locked up.
How often do you come here?
Sometimes a week I come here. 3 or 4 times a week I come here. My place is far from here, but I like to support these refugees because I was here.
No justice! No peace! No racist police!
Did you ever think that you would actually be outside here looking in?
I never thought that I was supposed to be free. I thought they are going to keep me in detention forever. Many people think that we are free and no one is inside, but the reality is that there are a dozen men inside this building and they haven't committed any crime. They are just kept in this place. They are my friends. They are human beings. They are innocent.
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back!
They have been transferred to Australia for medical help, but instead they are receiving punishment. And every time when I talk to them, I try to give them hope that it's gonna be there is a good news. You will be free. And still, we don't hear anything from politicians. I think they are gonna keep this policy. They are going to continue this policy. It's very sad. They need our help.
Stand up, fight back!
You did receive a bridging visa and you were able to leave the hotel. How did you feel when you got that?
I got very surprised. It was very beautiful time for me when I heard that they are going to give me visa. I just felt that, is it real or not? I thought, is it me that I'm going to be free? After 2,737 days, on 21st of January, I got my freedom. And it was the most beautiful time in my life. I felt that I am going to be in heaven. For 8 years, I didn't have a hug from a friend. I didn't have a feeling of visiting a friend for 8 years. Many times in our life, we don't feel small things that we have. We don't think about it, but it's so beautiful if we pay attention to what we have. Visiting friends, watering flowers, walking, running, hugging people, and giving hope to other people, not to be angry, to be strong always, to be positive. These things are so amazing. And I am very happy that I understand it. When I am out now, I am living with a wonderful family, Fiona and Steve. They are so kind to me, and also other friends that I see every day.
Tell me about your first day that you were out. What did you do?
Fiona and Steve came and picked me up. I visited some friends, and I came to this place. Just imagine I came this compound. It's like a park, this place. I saw kangaroos are looking at me.
On day one?
Yeah. I waved at them. I talked to the kangaroos. It was really beautiful. And I had a party that night. I remember I visited all the refugees who were free that day and before, with most of the protesters. It was really great. The second day I went to the Jimmy Barnes concert. They arranged a ticket for me, and it was so beautiful that time. I hugged Jimmy Barnes, I talked with Jane. It was really great. I talked with Jimmy Barnes' family, and he was very kind to me. We talked like 20 minutes with each other, and he said, come and play a song with me. He was very kind, yeah, and I really appreciate all his amazing support.
How did you meet Jimmy Barnes? No, I haven't met Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy Barnes is an Australian legend. How did you meet him?
It's because Jimmy Barnes' family listened to my story. When I was in Mantra, they listened to my story, they listened to my pain. And I decided to write a song for all people who are supporting refugees, the refugees who are locked up in detention.
I'm looking at you from the window. I want to tell you I love you. How beautiful you are, and you're always in my heart, sending my gratitude and love to you. I believe there are many care for us. I feel I'm lucky to have you in my life.
What are your hopes for the future now? How would you like to see your life kind of be?
I like to help people. I like to help people who think that they are depressed, to tell them that life is beautiful. I like to talk to them about what I've been through. I like also to make some music. I like to write a book. I want to write a book about my life. Also, I like to see all my brothers who were in detention, and now they are behind the tinted glass in Kangaroo Point Hotel. All of them get free, and then we celebrate together.
Moz, it's great to meet you. Thank you for your time, and thanks for joining me on 1+1.
Thank you, Kurt, and nice to meet you too, and thanks for having me.